following podcast is being brought to you by the Defy Life Podcast Network.
This week on the Defy Life Podcast, the guys welcome Money, West Coast J, and Hollywood Paul to discuss their new podcast, Unsupervised, the spinoff. They talk about Gayle King, Russell Wilson's hair, and some NBA. And as always, they answer a listener question and wrap things up with some trivia. All that and more. Let's get it.
Yeah, that's what it is. I guess we gotta do it then. You alright? J, Pooh, Al, Money, West Coast. Let's get it. Strap in, let's take a ride. Oh yeah, it's about that time, right? Been waiting all week to get to this. It's finally time to defy life. Let's chop it up, keep it real, no other way. That's what we do. We might disagree, but it's all love. Guarantee we gon' speak the truth. Yeah, this hit different. My guys with me now. Who's with us? Stick around for a few minutes. It's contagious. You'll get it. You downloaded the realest. Don't feel us, forget out. You not rocking with Defy Life, then what's your life about? This ain't Defy Life. Told you. This is the Shy Life. I'm gonna let this ride out though. Welcome back to the Defy Life Podcast, powered by the Defy Life Podcast Network. This episode is sponsored by Bud Bottles, home of the Bud Bottle and the Bud Freshener. Please visit budbottles.com for your odor eliminating needs. This is episode 144. Come on in, wipe your feet, close the door behind you. I'm your host, J.R. Glimpf, joined as always by my wonderful co-host, Alvin Glimpf. How's it going today, Al?
It's good, man. Can't call it. 144. That was the avenue I grew up on. And,
no doubt.
144 Ave. Shout out to my Rosedale folk out there.
All right.
So, yeah, man. Doing good, man. Doing good. Happy to be here.
Good stuff. Still got my Rosedale t-shirt.
There you go. Rosedale. What was it? Rosedale clothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. RCC. Yeah.
No doubt. Yeah, man. Pooh will be joining us shortly. He's having some technical difficulties. Had to reboot his computer, so he'll be here shortly. He dealing with that dial-up shit in the country.
Gotta be. I thought he was, he's a superhero undercover. So
right.
Yeah, I thought it was something a little bit more magnanimous than that he was doing something spectacular.
It may be. I'll check with Miggs and see if Pooh getting a movie made about him and shit. I don't know.
Oh, that's what it is.
Yeah, or Regular Scott and Oz may be featuring him on their next episode. You never know.
You never know. I would, because dude has some amazing adventures. So I would do an episode on him.
Damn right. So I don't know. So we'll talk to Pooh shortly, as soon as he get that shit straight.
Okay.
Yeah, and we also we got some special guests lined up for this week. We'll be talking to Money and West Coast J and Hollywood Paul to talk about their new show, Unsupervised, the spinoff. So it'll be good to hear from them.
Looking forward to that conversation.
Man, that's gonna be fun. I had to make sure that they knew they only gonna be on for a segment, because with Money and West Coast J back, we'll be on here for 3 hours. So we ain't going back to those days.
Oh wow! See, I got me a power nap anticipating that they was gonna be on for the full show, but that's what's up. I appreciate that.
Yeah, man. We done got conditioned to this hour and a half shit. I ain't in shape for that 3 hour shit no more.
Okay, let's keep it rolling. It does feel good to get on and get off.
All right, I'm like the 36-year-old Shaq at this point. I ain't the 22-year-old Shaq.
See, and I'm like the 46-year-old Shaq. So
God damn. Oh shit! Yeah, you.
I need a break. I need a break.
Right. Yeah, you need a break after talking to Charles and Kenny.
Hello. I need a commercial. Cut the commercial.
For real. Oh man. But yeah, we got a lot of good stuff lined up, man. How was your week?
Man, so the week was good. Can I talk a little youth basketball for a second?
Oh, absolutely. That shit's always welcome.
Oh man, so let me give you my update, and it seems to always be the same team, but so the same team because I coach two teams, but remember one was accused of using the N word,
All
right?
right.
So we play that team again. We played them on Saturday, so it was a very very competitive game till about the third quarter, maybe the fourth, going back and forth. Then at some point we start on going a run,
Oh,
and because
the team that accused you, y'all playing that team again?
we're playing that team again,
Oh, okay. All right, go ahead.
and it's,
Wow.
it's the first time we playing them since they accused us for just calling somebody a nigga.
Wow.
So we going back and forth, we go on a little run, and I think honestly they're a young team and we are the undefeated team. So I think once we went on that run, their confidence went down, and 6-0 run ballooned to about 20 points by the end of the game. So
Wow.
the team was very dejected. They thought they had a shot at beating us, but as we're lining up to shake hands, a couple of the boys refused to shake hands.
Nah.
Right? Okay, it happens. I understand. It's dejected. No big deal. So I'm staying after the game, talking to the league president, who's complimenting me on how well my son coached the week before. So as we walking out, me and my son, because he showed up to the game. So as we're walking out into the parking lot, we see about 15, 20 people circled up, arguing, yelling, screaming, and we like, yo, what the hell is going on here? Run to the middle of it, and I see one of my players arguing with one of the opposing parents.
Oh,
And his father is there arguing with the parent as well. So I'm like, I'm getting him to get in the car, get the parent to get in the car, just like, yo, squash it, let's go on about our business, go home. They leave. And so I'm walking back to my car, and I see the opposing coach talking to that same parent. So I'm trying to, kind of trying to eavesdrop, trying to hear what happened. Just kind of also let them know, like, I'm not an enemy. I'm here just trying to help.
Right.
So I'm listening, and the parents talking to me, and next thing I know, that parent, a 70-year-old woman, 3 other parents are yelling at me because my team is just being so disrespectful. And what kind of coach am I? They taunting and being racist, and they learn it at home. And even the 70-year-old woman, she like, are you black? What kind of black man are you? You gonna let these white kids call our kids the N-word? And I'm just like, yo, first of all, I'm not letting nobody do nothing. We had a meeting about it. A meeting. Y'all gonna have a meeting? What kind of meeting you have about the nigga? What about the N-word? I'm like, well, ma'am, what do you want us to do? Like no one told us who said it. You want me to ban the whole team? Like, I'm not really understand what else you wanted us to do. Oh, you don't have to. They saying that at home. That's what they think of. The parents, they like that too. What do you mean they like that too? They saying it like they saying those words in the stands. Whoa. One of my parents called you a nigga? No. Huh? Huh? No. But they be looking at us, and that's what they be thinking.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Well, I'm not gonna let nobody put their hands on my son. Whoa. One of my players put their hands on your child? No. Huh? But I'm just saying, if it happened, I'm not gonna let it.
Oh man, come on.
But it didn't happen though. What we talking about here? So you know what? At that point, I'm realizing that it's not gonna be a lot of reasoning going on. So I'm like, all right, let's go. And so my son says something like, all right, that's great. That parent is like, what you say? He said, that's great. Don't be condescending me, you condescending motherfucker.
To you?
Oh, wait. to my son.
Oh,
I was like, wow. Also, I'm like, so he like, now he going back at her, right? And I'm like, yo, Alvin, chill. Nah, don't. He old enough to talk shit. He old enough to go, ma'am.
Wow.
I know he is 21, 20 is a young man, but he's still a young man. You ain't got to get up in front of him. He a grown man. He old enough to talk shit. You know what? Just guide my son. Let's just start walking to the car. That same parent looks at me and says, "You disrespectful fucker."
Wow.
Yeah.
What
Now, when you talk restraint, when you talk about how we be by our mom and dads in terms of what's appropriate behavior, it took every bit of that child, that rearing, and knowing who I am and who I'm not, to just walk the other way. Because for a split second was like, what? No. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. Don't say it. Don't do it. And just walk the other way. So, so then, the next day, that team they played after us. So that starts show up for our game. So the parents of the other team their game don't even start for an hour ahead after us. Mm-hmm. They showed up to watch our game. Oh wow! To basically troll our players from the stands. You missed that shot. Look at not only did they show up an hour early, but there were fathers who weren't there on Saturday. There on Sunday. Now, I don't know. Maybe they was working on Saturday. I don't know. And to be honest, I don't blame them, because if my wife came home and said, you know, I would have showed up too. So I ain't hating on that at all. I just noticed it. Like, wow. Yeah, I got the fathers out today, right, just in case some shit jumps off. But I'm glad they came early, because they got to see us play another team and ask us what the score was of that game. 85-25.
Get the wow.
Oh, you want to see how we can play when we just play and we not talking shit?
All right, you want that smoke?
You want that smoke? 85-25.
God dang.
Yeah.
And then you're like, that's why these motherfuckers was mad. Like, not because all that shit was going on. Like, they just got their ass whooped.
They just got their ass whooped. And at the end of the day, as I'm walking out, you know, I'm old. I'm that old dude. I'm the asshole that kills you with kindness. So as I walk out the gym, each one of the motherfuckers from the parking lot, hey, how you doing? Happy Sunday. Good to see you. They looking at me like, you fucker. One of them even stuttered when she said hello to me. She was like, hello. like she had planned to spit in my face when she saw me. But I mean, what am I gonna do? Hello. I was like, damn, that's how mad you can't even say hello to me. Like, wow. What's up, nigga? My nigga. My nigga. So, you know, we had to have a meeting about it, and the league basically, you know, said that they're not going to tolerate the N-word. They're not going to tolerate unsportsmanlike behavior. They're not going to tolerate what happened in the parking lot. And really supported us as coaches to say, you know, while they feel like we should have brought it to the league, they understand and respect and trust us as coaches who've been doing this for years, right, that all we was trying to do was handling it the way we did. And honestly, it would have been handled, because from what I understand, what happened because I didn't know it at the time, but based on what my players say happened, and I'll say that based on what my players said happened, when the kids didn't shake hands, one of my players put his hand like, yo, you're not gonna shake my hand. So kind of put his hand closer, which ultimately ended up being in the player's face.
Oh, shit.
And the parent from across the court sees that, and then when she gets out into the parking lot, goes up to that player's car and was like, "Don't you be putting your hands in my son's face?"
Wow.
And he was like, "But I was just trying to get him to shake my hand," and it just went crazy from there. So the ill part of, if that's true, and again, because I say I wasn't there, and this is what my player said happened, but the ill part of this is that the escalation of it happened from a parent.
Right.
That it was the parent who goes up to one of my players' cars
Right.
to talk shit.
But that's what we always say. Like, youth sports should be a lot more like functionable and just better overall if parents weren't involved.
Mm-hmm.
For the most part.
I'm glad the fathers came to the game on Sunday, because what they would have witnessed was a team who, we probably, we had a lot of fun out there, and at one point we was up 50, and one of my players was doing a little dance after his shot, and I had to, cause that's chilled. We ain't doing that. Stop that. But at the end of the day, they saw a team who played hard from whistle to whistle. And I would hope if any of those players, any of those dad's competitors got in their car when they got back home was like,
right.
I don't know what the fuck the big deal was.
Right.
Like what I saw today, it wasn't nothing disrespectful, because, I understand people have different opinions on how do you deal with having a big lead, but I've always coached. You play the same way, regardless of the score.
Right.
And I always took it as a sign of disrespect when you start taking it easy on me because you feel like I can't compete.
Right. And like, it ain't like it's college football where you got a whole other roster where you can bring in, 22 backups.
Correct.
Like,
Correct.
You still, for the most part, got to play the players who play. And
Correct.
It ain't my fault if my team's just that much better than yours. So,
like, am I supposed to go four corners? Like, can you imagine how disrespectful that would be if I was just like, yo, we not even gonna try to score no more. Let's just dribble the ball out for the last 9 minutes of the game. Right. What? Like, that's not how you coach. That's not the message we send to our players.
You start taking a knee for the rest of the game.
Okay, we just gonna do a 10-second violation every time we get
formation. Exactly. Like, man, fuck out of here. Like, I remember when Lincoln, when they lost their first game of the season, and I remember, I told you about that, where the parent was on the sidelines, he was on the chain crew, and he was giving their players the signals and all that shit.
Yes.
But with that said, I had to have that talk with Lincoln. Like, don't get in this car talking about cheating and they did this and they did that. Bottom line is, y'all had 4 fumbles. You missed the balls. Like, if you had done everything you could to win that game, then you talk to me about the other shit. But you got beat.
Correct.
You didn't play well enough to win. So, and I find it hard to believe, in your case, that, like you said, any of them other parents could have came up with anything, pulled anything out their ass to make up for 60 points. 85-25, it ain't that many niggas and hands on me in the world. Like, you just got your ass whooped. So, well, good to see stuff is still interesting in your league.
They keep it interesting. They test my leadership skills, my conflict resolution skills. But what I guess, and this is the lesson to all of us in terms of conflict, is that, to me, you should take stock in people's opinions when they're coming from people who know you, as opposed to the people who don't know you.
Yeah,
so in this case, these parents' opinions, I'm listening to them, but at the same time, they ain't really staying in my spirit for too long.
Right.
That really matter to me are the opinions of my parents and the opinions of the leadership of the league. And in both cases, they have been very supportive of choices and how I've been handling it, and both me and the other coach in terms of how we've been handling this situation. And so to me, like, that's another lesson to remember is that, you're going to have people who going to have opinions on what you do and what you don't do. Man, if they don't know you, if they don't
Right.
that shit don't matter.
Oh, cool. All right. Well, we about to bring out a special guest on, man. I can't wait for this. Been looking forward to this all week.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Before we get to our guest, Thomas Stevens, welcome home, sir. I guess
Thanks.
not.
He's still out saving the world.
How you just put your icon up there and just to hold your spot? You know what, Pooh?
I'll be right back. You know how they do the shot, right?
Right.
Yo, how many got? 2?
Right.
All right, I'm going to Popeyes. I'll be right back. Nah,
Right.
son, it don't work like that.
Like, I look next to me in the studio, and Pooh got his coat in the chair, holding his seat. Oh man, well we'll get back to that guy. Yes, he's still out saving the world. But without further ado, man, Al, man, it's good to have our guys, the new owners of their very own brand spanking new show. We got West Coast Jay and Hollywood Paul. What's good with y'all? Money, what's good, man?
What up, fellas?
Yo, man, this 2 for Tuesdays.
Man, the
Hey,
real is back.
It's the real himself. The real is back, baby. What's good? Hey,
Oh, man.
can I just say for just a second? Boy, I see ain't nothing changed. Pooh still ain't here.
Yeah. Oh,
It
God.
might be 2020, but ain't shit changed, man. Ain't
Right.
shit changed.
And that's my thing is, as Al been pointing out the last few weeks, it's people on top of people calling people on top of people niggas. Pooh late every week. Ain't nobody call him a nigga yet.
Not yet. Not yet.
Like, and like that's what pisses me off about your parents and the other parents, Al. At least use the word correctly. If we're gonna call somebody the N-word, call Thomas Stevens the N-word. Y'all call Pooh.
Call him the N-word.
What's going on?
Oh, they
Call me
see, there you go.
What up? Hey, I was just
Mom,
about to pull out
Manson them.
I was to say Derrick Rose to see if that would get him out. I was about to call out D Rose.
Right. Oh man, Thomas Stevens again. Welcome home, sir.
No doubt. What's good?
Ain't no
What-
man,
My joint was going bananas, but so what happened? Al got shellacked and somebody called the dogs off and went 4 corners. What happened? What was that?
For that part of the show, you just gonna have to listen and go back.
I gotta go
listen to that
listen.
shit. Yeah,
No doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, we ain't repeating that shit.
But just so that people don't get it twisted, no, we did not get shellacked.
Right.
Okay, no doubt.
West Coast, what's good, man?
Gentlemen, what's good with y'all?
Ain't
What
nothing,
up, man?
Just feel like old
You
times.
know, we over here being reckless as usual.
Yeah.
Y'all done messed around and let us run without adult supervision.
Right.
Biased.
Oh shit, yeah, man. I guess time shit just feel right. Hollywood Paul, what's good, sir?
What's good, fellas, man? I'm just chilling, man. Kick
What
back,
up?
finally got to get off my feet, you know what I mean? So, sitting here looking at my little pretty lady about to cuss me out. You know? I'm taking over the living room. Fuck it.
Oh, all right. Well, if
Oh, my bad. We ain't on no supervisor anymore. My bad. Bleep that. Bleep that.
shit, nigga, I'm not a witness, so you on your own.
Like, all of this.
Yo,
Oh, man.
Jay, can I tell him a story?
Tell them a story.
Yo, our show, West Coast Jay and I was already on the show. Oh, but we miss y'all very much. Listeners, we miss y'all very much. Our show, Unsupervised, the spinoff, DefyLifePods.com. West Coast will tell you where we at in just a second. But last week was our first show. And I was so excited, and like I wanted to pay so much homage to the Defy Life show that I was like giving a shout out to everybody. And then I like gave a shout out to Key. Didn't even know he wasn't on the show no more. So I had a nice little laugh about that, but I didn't know if y'all knew or whatever. But yeah, if y'all, that's my bad, fellas. I jumped all out in that water. And gave Key a shot. I corrected it today though, y'all.
Check that out. Yeah, I'm listening last week. I know Money ain't listening to the last couple episodes. Because Money working on his own fucking show. He ain't got time to listen to our show. But yeah, I was like, oh well, I had to give a shout out to Keon too, because I don't know that. Yeah, shout out to Keon.
Yo, who's Keon?
That might be the name of the show.
Y'all know how we do. Y'all know how we do, man.
Hey, but word on the street is though.
What up, Key?
Before we get into you guys tell us about what y'all doing over there down the hall. Word on the street is people have been noticing how short our shows are now since there's no Keon, no Money, no West Coast. That's all I'm saying.
Ooh. Hey.
What you talking about, bro?
Particularly no Keon, no Money.
Up y'all content game, then. I don't know what
they ain't share that part with me. All they said was the time. I don't know about the content part.
Oh, yeah. True that.
That's all they said. I've had folks come to me and say, "Hey, man, I can actually listen to y'all on my lunch break now." So yeah, I don't know if it's coincidence. Maybe not. But shout out to Keon. Shout out to Money. That's all I'm gonna say. But Unsupervised, the spinoff. Y'all are well as of now. You're 2 episodes in. How's it going? Tell everybody what the concept of the show, what you guys will be talking about, when your show drops, all that good stuff. Where they can find you. Y'all tell us about the show. We're excited about it. Not all at once.
Yeah. And we've been talking about some edgy stuff, about sports. We've been talking about, what's been happening in current events, like, the passing of Kobe beating Bryant, and just popular opinions on certain things, man. Money's been he's been kind of like keeping us abreast with what's going on in politics. West Coast Jay, he gives us that good old fashioned every man's wisdom. You know what I'm saying? He's our everyman in the show. And we dropped that joint what Tuesday night, fellas? That's what it was.
Well, we record on Tuesdays, but we drop the show on Thursdays.
There we go. That's it. Money's the showrunner too.
Oh shit! I just show up. Tell me when that shit drops.
That's it. A lot going on.
He like my name's Hollywood. Don't you get it?
Show the fuck up. Oh, right. See, bleep me, man. Bleep me.
Hey.
Okay. He is definitely the star of the show.
Right.
Paul is definitely the star of the show.
And which one of y'all gave Paul the idea that we don't curse on this show? What y'all did?
Oh, I don't know. My bad then.
Well, Paul, all I will say to that, curse. Right, is fuck that. Say what you want to say. Yeah.
Oh, and West Coast, yeah.
So on Defy Life Podcast on Spreaker, Google Podcasts. We should be up on iTunes, if not now, soon. So yeah, man, check us out.
Yeah, Google Podcasts.
Some humors.
We're working on our social media page. This should be up going in next week. We're gonna have dope content out there, polls. Get the fans and the listeners involved, and we got a bunch of good ideas, man. I miss y'all though, Al. I miss you the most.
I mean, to that shit, you man.
Yeah. Hey, good to hear your voice, man. Hear your laugh. West Coast. It's real. It's good to hear all y'all. What up, Hollywood? And hey, I can't wait to. I didn't listen to the first show, but I will listen to both of them this week. And I'll send some feedback, email, be part of the show from afar, man. I like the concept, and real good to hear y'all voices. So I'll get to hear it again on your podcast. So that's good to hear y'all.
Because I was going to ask y'all, have y'all listened yet? That's what I was going to ask y'all.
We're going to throw a little mix. I'm going to try to do like a little visual podcast once a month as well. But out there, have some guests on the show. You know what I'm saying, hopefully we get some chocolate covered titties, stuff like that. I don't know. Like I said that, my girl looked at me like, whose titties is chocolate covered? And where will they be?
All right. Well, tell her it ain't gonna be her chocolate covered titties. It's just a regular chocolate. Right.
I mean, it's
gonna be some other chocolate covered pants. Right. We got this.
All right. Oh man. Well, first.
Yo, get me off the show, yo. I'm already on the couch, yo. I ain't trying to be on here.
Oh no! Wow.
Pooh,
you could blame it on the reckless group.
Hey, you was gonna be our first guest.
That's all love. I love it, man.
You might not have to go far to find him. All y'all about to be on the couch.
Right. Hey, you look like Paul there as well.
Right. Well, guys, we excited, man. We it's been in the works for a minute, and I know we've been promising people that West Coast and he was gonna be back, and they had a surprise, for him, and that is Hollywood Paul. So we excited about the show, and the first episode was dope. Al, definitely go listen to it. I'm excited to hear the second episode, and also, we will have y'all's gear up on the gear page soon, within the next week or so. So start pushing that gear so people can support the show. But yeah, we excited, man, and y'all welcome here anytime. We just waiting on our invitation to y'all show whenever that'll happen.
Don't jinx us, Jay, man. Last time you did that, man, we had no show, man. Don't do that.
That's what we invite everybody here. Everybody that's been on our show. The only motherfucker that had us on this show is regular Scott Nas. So
right.
So them ain't shots fired. Those are torpedoes fired.
We've been on Lynn and Kim.
Oh, and Simba. Yeah, had us on. No, Lynn and Kim had you on, honey. They have us on. See the kind of team player Money is. Yeah, they had all us on. Nah, nigga, it's you.
He on everybody.
Right.
Count me.
I count for all of us. But not so. Those are torpedoes fired again at relationship stats. Lynn and Kim, all y'all. And we got some new show coming, so we're gonna definitely make sure we keep this heat coming at y'all.
The Fall Life team, y'all got my personal word, man. Y'all definitely gonna be on the show, man. We can't wait to have you.
Cool. Here. That's good to hear. Oh man. Yeah, man. So guys, thank y'all for joining us. We really we know y'all recorded tonight. We don't want to keep y'all up too late. But we just wanted to make sure, the people knew that y'all were out there. Y'all hit the ground running last week, and we excited. We're proud of y'all. And I don't know about Al and Pooh, but I kind of feel like a proud father right now.
I do kind of feel like the prodigal brothers have returned.
Right.
I don't want to call it my son, but I do feel like they went out this special, and they came home to be like, yo, check us out, man. We doing that hot shit.
Right.
So I look forward to, because the whole idea of being unsupervised, I feel like I'm going to be listening and living through y'all as I listen to y'all talk.
Right.
So keep bringing that crazy shit, because y'all need to be our voices.
Right.
No doubt.
I can guarantee that we're gonna end up getting y'all on the couch. You keep fucking with us.
No doubt.
Oh man, we'll definitely talk to y'all soon, because I want to
see how I said I was going to send you emails and interact from a distance, though. You said that right.
You better pick up a nom de plume.
Hello, like who is this Charles that keep emailing us? I don't know who Charles is.
Who is
Charles
Galvin?
Is asking good questions.
Who the fuck is Galvin? I don't know who that guy is. Oh man. So quick question. So Paul let us know what Money's bringing to the table. He let us know what West Coast is bringing to the table. But with his humble self, in his own humble way, he didn't tell us what Paul brings to the table. Do any of you two want to tell us what Paul brings to the table?
I definitely want to touch this, man. Paul is the definition of unsupervised. Man, hey. Paul brings
the reckless nature.
Yeah, he brings the reckless. Paul get it how he live.
I'm just being honest, man. I try to hold back a little bit, but sometimes I'm just passionate. I can't help it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, right. Paul brings the straight raw, straight real, and he speaks from a place of passion. And he speaks from a place from his heart, man. And I dig it. I dig it.
Wow,
no doubt. Yeah, that's what's up.
He the star. I'm telling you, the star of the show.
Of course.
He either gonna have us with 1 million listeners, or he gonna have us all fired. But either way, we going.
But y'all gonna have a good time.
Either way, we gonna have a good time.
Wow. So, one final question before I let y'all go, and I'm asking this to each and every one of you, my co-hosts here. So each of you, and I'll go through each and every one of you here as the co-host of the Defy Life Trivia Battleground. I just happen to have 5 contestants on the call at one time right now. So I want to know, Al, you will be representing the Defy Life show. As for those of you who don't know, Lynn and Kim will not be competing as a duo this year. It'll just be Lynn. So they won't have that. Yes. Kim has a lot of stuff going on, opening a restaurant and all that stuff, so she couldn't commit. So it'll just be Lynn. So I'm gonna let you all know that. And I want to know, first of all, do y'all want me to go through what the categories are gonna be?
Hell yeah!
All right, let me run through them right quick. All right. And I won't tell you who submitted what, but we have black 90s action movies. We have famous black couples. We have all things Tupac. Like y'all got to guess who submitted that shit. We have 90s R&B boy groups. We have U.S. cities. We have animated Disney movies. We have pop. We have buddy cop movies. We have 90s black TV shows. And we have 90s cartoons. And y'all know every year we kind of throw in, not necessarily a surprise, but a unique episode. So this year we are having the Defy Life Better Halves episode. So there will be wives and girls. Yeah, so they are going to compete to go to the championship round. So, so that'll be Shakita is going to be on there. Gina Miggs is lady's going to be there. Ladine's going to be on, and we're trying to close Lindsay, regular Scott's wife. So their categories were Harry Potter movies, Power, movies with kid leads. So those are all the categories we have. Again, I can tell you because you don't know what's going to show up on your episode. So with that being said, Al, you're representing the Defy Life show. Who's your stiffest competition, you think?
Regular Scott, because he be coming up with some crazy Game of Thrones questions.
Well, there's no Game of Thrones this year. That's a good thing.
But I'm gonna go with my biggest comp. Who's my biggest competition? I'm gonna go with
You didn't tell us who was all in it though, Jay.
Oh, you
West Coast win one year?
Yeah, West Coast won the first one.
That won the inaugural year.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with him.
Cool. Yeah, West Coast will be representing Unsupervised. But yeah, I'll tell you who all's in it. So Take a Knee will be Oz, of course. So the first episode will be what we'll call the Vets episode. So the people who've been here the longest. So it'll be Oz from Take a Knee. It'll be Al from Defy Life. Pooh from Speak the Truth. Lynn from Anything, Everything, and Nothing. And Money representing Fantasy Beast. And then we'll have the Underclassmen episode, which will be West Coast J. Simba. Miggs. Hollywood Paul. And Corey the Voice. Does everybody know who Corey the Voice is? Corey the Voice is the following podcast. Brought to you. I can't even get that deep. Right.
The Defy Life Podcast.
Yeah, that dude. So those will be the Underclassmen, and then we'll have the Better Halves episode. So, Pooh, who's your stiffest competition?
Well, hate to toot my own horn, man. But I'll probably say me.
Right.
Hey, I'll probably say me, man. The last time I was in, I completely dominated for 3 rounds. I don't know what happened. I lost. I lost
Fell
by
apart.
a technicality. I don't know what happened. Yosh allegedly got whatever his answer off by the buzzer. He really ain't say shit. Yosh really ain't say shit.
I remember that.
But I ain't mad at you for that.
I can tell you're not. I can tell you're not mad at me.
Hey, but it's all good. You know, I love the competition, and I really can't wait.
Okay.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
I know you can't wait. Yeah, and you're not mad at me either.
Nah.
Right. Money. Who's your stiffest competition?
Man, I gotta say, man, I kind of agree with Al and Pooh both, man. I gotta go with the champ, one of the defending champs, and West Coast Jay, and I gotta agree with my guy Pooh, man. I gotta say, man, Pooh's tough. I really feel like I feel like he got snubbed too.
Okay.
You know, I went back and listened to that footage.
Hey, no doubt.
And I was like, damn, the kid really ain't say nothing. But shout out to I just don't think the team from A&E is gonna be as strong with Kim missing. You know, so I know they're the defending champs.
All right.
But it's gonna be tough without both of them.
All right. Well. One thing y'all don't have to worry about is Yosh not saying nothing or saying something at the buzzer this year, because Yosh ain't gonna be on this motherfucker. So
hey, A&E is done and Yosh is done.
Right.
Is relationship status sending a representative?
I've asked 8 times, I didn't get an answer, so I had to move on.
True that.
So, you know, when the trophies and the gear being passed out, I don't want no grievances filed by relationship status. I got emails and paperwork to prove my inquiries. West Coast, who's your stiffest competition?
That's a fair question. It would normally have been the duo, but if it's only a uno now, well, then I suppose my stiffest competition is probably gonna have to be Hollywood P.
All right.
Mostly because I know that dude.
All right. Yeah. Hollywood.
But I figure, as the only person on the show that can actually still say the one-time champion, you know, my belt's still over there somewhere.
Right.
You know, I still randomly walk through the offices in Nebraska.
You do. And you're
you
the
know,
only
still
one to
show
wear
up
their
for
belt.
meetings and everything.
Right. And you're the only one to wear their belt full time. Lynn and Cam had to split it. Like Martin and Gina and Pam had to split the Volvo. Yeah. Man. Hollywood, who's your stiffest competition, sir?
Hey, man, I was with West Coast on Lynn and Kim, man. They ganged up on me. So I was looking for a little revenge, but I mean, I guess West Coast and Migs be cheating, man.
Yo.
Dang.
It's definitely Migs, man.
Wait a minute.
He just called Migs the Houston Astros of the game.
Hey, wait a minute, Migs be cheating?
Yo, you can. Yo, time you ask Migs the question, all you hear in the background is
clack, 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 clack. No,
right.
Migs.
Yeah.
Yo,
But at least Migs said shit. I ain't know we couldn't go. Like he knew, he admitted it. So the next episode, I had to make it explicit, no Googling. Now, on the other hand,
I was just about to say that, yo.
Yeah.
Yosh, no cap. Yosh be Googling.
Yosh be phone, so there ain't no buttons clanging in the background. We caught on to your shit, Yosh. But
Yeah.
again, we got to worry about that shit. And then, you know, we got something to remedy that. Thanks to, I ain't even gonna reveal what it is, but thank you, Al. That's all I'll say.
Okay.
Right. So we got something to remedy that. But yeah, we're excited. So we're gonna record the Vets episode on the 21st of February. So next Friday, next Thursday. Sorry, it's the 20th. Sorry. So yeah, so we'll get the ball rolling and see who wins this thing and who gets these the gear and, like, again, most of all, bragging rights. So we'll see.
You know, Jay, I feel the proverbial some type of way that I don't get to be a vet as the only other champion.
Yeah, you can contact the commissioner. David Stern.
Was it regular Scott?
Y'all crazy.
David Stern.
Hey, send me my media now, Jay.
Huh?
That's how I feel about it. Send me my media.
Oh
now.
Shit! Wow. Okay.
Man, I want a fanny pack.
That's tough.
I need that.
He definitely
Right. No, the fanny packs are dope. The fanny packs are dope.
Fanny packs are dope. I need a fanny pack. So
Yeah, the fanny packs is
I'm
dope.
in,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. I
West
mean,
Coast Jay, I actually might just buy your fanny pack because you need one.
yeah.
Oh shit.
Yo,
Listen to our
man.
first show, y'all know what we talking about.
Yeah, that'll make
Right.
more sense.
Got the old dad bag.
Oh man. Well, again, guys, everybody, this is Money, West Coast J, Hollywood Paul, the host of Unsupervised, the spinoff, or as Pooh like to call it, Unsupervised, the sequel. I don't know why, but Pooh just does. Pooh calls it what
get
he
outta
want to
here.
call it. But yeah, man, it feels like, it feels natural and feels like home hearing y'all's voices on this show. Again, proud of you guys. Anything y'all want to say before we get back to our episode and before we end up being up to 3 o'clock in the morning?
no,
Yeah, man.
don't do that.
Just, thanks for letting us back in. I've been in the refrigerator, so took that one beer.
Get all you want. You ain't no guest.
Right. I appreciate that. Thanks for letting us back. Y'all still doing your thing. Appreciate listening to y'all still.
No doubt.
But other than that, I appreciate it.
No doubt.
That's what's up.
No doubt, man. Thanks for coming through. Money, West Coast, and HP. Hey, I just love saying HP, man. I used to love watching Darkwing Duck, and I think he had the illest nickname. They used to call him DW. DW. So I love HP. That just sounds so sweet, man. I dig the HP.
Yeah,
But-
we might dub that on the network, actually.
HP.
HP. Yeah.
I just wanted to say, man, once I agree completely with West Coast, man. Thanks for having me back, man. Definitely feels like home. Miss y'all brothers. This is a really good show, man. It's the flagship on the network, so definitely hats off, salute, respect, much hard work to you guys. You guys keep it up. And now, the crazy part is I feel like a visitor. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like I'm here and I'm visiting, and I'm gonna go back home and kill my own shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's a good thing. So I just wanted to say thank you, y'all and listeners, man. You already know, man. The real is back. If you're not rocking with Defy Life, what's your life about?
Damn right.
All right.
Alright.
Hey, I just want to say best of luck, fellas. Good to hear y'all voices, and good to have y'all in this space for a minute. But I know y'all gonna do great. Look forward to hearing it, and just keep bringing the heat. Love it.
No doubt.
Absolutely. The newly crowned HP. Anything before you bounce on?
Nah, man. Like I say on our show every time, man. I'm just glad to be alive. It's a blessing every day you wake up. Some people have a plan for the next day, but don't wake up to get to see it. So I'm just so humble to do that. And you see somebody in need, man. You know what I'm saying? Talk to them. You might just save a life.
No doubt,
Absolutely.
man. Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's
Jules.
up.
Cool. Hi, guys. Well, again, good talking to you. And hopefully the roles will be flipped next time we talk.
No doubt.
Yeah, man. Get us on the sequel, man.
No doubt. Oh, man. All right, fellas. We love you guys. And best of luck to you. We'll talk to you soon.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
All right. Peace.
Peace.
Oh, man. It's definitely good hearing those guys' voices.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
Man.
That was nice.
Yes, it was. Oh, man. Well, we can actually get to work now. Now that,
Okay.
we got to hang out with the unsupervised guys for a while. We actually got responsible shit to do now.
I'm saying that felt kind of cool though. I feel
Yeah,
like
it did.
we're just chilling. I like being
Right.
unsupervised for a little while.
Exactly.
No doubt. No, hey, I gotta stretch my legs.
Right.
Okay.
Oh man, well, we can get on our show before we get too far. A little bit of house cleaning as usual. I just want to give a shout out to Chicago, Illinois for being our most listens now over the past 30 days. They've overtaken Pleasant Hill, California. So shout out to Chicago. Representing the Midwest. So they'll represent for the Chi. All right. And then also, last definitely not least, again, go check out Defy Life gear. Any of the podcasts that you want to represent, they've got their own gear out there, the network gear, or if you want the traditional Defy Life gear, definitely go check it out. It's still hoodie season, y'all. It's still a little cool out, so go get your hoodies. As it starts to warm up, go get your, you can kind of temp it down a little bit with the long sleeve tees, and then move into the t-shirts. We got all kind of stuff out there, and as West Coast Jay just said, them fatty packs is pretty hot, so go get one.
Yes.
So we're gonna jump into some new news tidbits. A few news tidbits before we get to the meat of the show. So I kind of threw these first two in because they kind of came up last minute. So do y'all remember after last year's NBA Finals when after the Raptors won and the Toronto Raptors GM MASSAI UJURI was trying to get onto the court to celebrate with his team, and the police officer stopped him and asked him to see his ID and wouldn't let him through, and the dude had his ID in his hand. And apparently off camera, words were exchanged, and I guess they got into a scuffle match or whatever. And at the time, the police officer said that UJURI struck him, and nobody could corroborate that claim. So it kind of went away. But now the police officer is suing MASSAI UJURI, saying that he suffered permanent damage because he got struck in the face and that he was not able to work his job anymore. So he's suing for $75,000. Well, above, all they said was above the minimum $75,000 in damages, as well as punitive damages, all that stuff. It really just sounds like a money grab. But Al, first of all, if you are not good enough as a police officer to see my credentials in my hand strapped to my wrist, and you asking me for them as you look at them, how the hell can I believe you when you suing for this reason?
Yeah, it just totally reads of what we have going on too often in our society, which is bullshit lawsuits, trying to get a settlement or trying to get a little fame. I looked at it as just total bullshit with no credibility at all. So dismissed it.
Yeah. Pooh, do you think he'll get anything out of this?
Man, no. Another get rich quick scheme. It's flat out ridiculous. I don't even have an opinion on it. Just stupid. I mean, I guess you got to try it. Right. I guess it's one of them Dennis Rodman joints. He used to get the most odd, cases, drawn up against him, fall on a guy, kick, whatever. But guys coming after him for millions and hundreds of thousands of dollars. So I guess if you can try it, I guess you got to try it. But it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I guess what they say is you can't win if you don't play.
You can't win, right.
Oh man, and speaking of other lawsuits, but this one was very interesting. So with the Houston Astros being caught with their cheating scandal, stealing signs via videotape, and been proven and admitted, it's actually some meat on this bone. So former Blue Jays pitcher, Toronto Blue Jays reliever, is suing the Houston Astros because during that 2017 season, when they were, it was proven that they were stealing signs in a game against the Astros in the playoffs. He gave up like 4 runs in an inning and was of course pulled from the game. After the series, he was released immediately and never got back in the league. Like, it was that bad of a performance. He's suing them for lost wages and basically, for them being the cause of his demise. Pooh, you think he's got a shot in this?
So let me kind of get this. Let me try. Let me straighten this up. Let me try to get a depiction on this. So he's suing them for him sucking and not playing him and I guess being released from the league. That's what I'm trying to get to understand. He sucked and they didn't play him and he's suing them for it.
No, he played against them.
Oh, he played against them.
Yeah, so he's basically blaming them for changing the course of his career because they were stealing signs, and it was proven that they were stealing signs in that game.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh,
so
I mean, he may. I mean, I think he has a leg to stand on.
Yeah,
he has a leg to stand on. I don't know how far it's gonna fly, but he has a leg to stand on.
Right,
I think so. Yeah,
and he's not seeking all the damages just for himself. He wants the Astros to forfeit about $31 million in bonuses that they received for winning the World Series, and for the money to go to charities in LA to better kids' lives.
And I think that's kind of the interesting variable. What you just said in LA is that the lawsuit is in LA. In a city where the Dodgers feel wronged. You got city officials putting together like a motion or consensus to something aimed at Major League Baseball, saying we would like y'all to strip the Houston Astros of their World Series titles. So I mean, I think it's a market ripe to hear that lawsuit. So hey, I'm with y'all. I think they do have a leg to stand on. I think it's when you look at the fact that many people believe baseball didn't go far enough. I think this is what happens when you don't go far enough. That you have people. Well, if you're not going to get justice or give them the damages that they should have got, then people are gonna come up with other ways. And lawsuit that sounds good to me.
Right, and he wants to use the money to create a fund for retired baseball players who need financial assistance. So he's not doing it out of greed. He's doing it, I mean, for one, sure, some kind of revenge. I'm sure that's part of it. But at least, he's not trying to, keep the money. I'm sure he just really wants to see them suffer more. So, I don't know. It's going to be interesting because, again, it has been proven. They've admitted to it, and it seems like every couple weeks somebody else feels like the burn of these flames. Like there are players and coaches who've moved on, executives who've moved on to other teams who are still suffering. Well, I ain't gonna say suffering, but they're paying the price for what they did. So this is gonna be interesting.
And I think we will continue to see people, voicing their opinions. Like Hank Aaron recently said that he believes anybody caught up in it should be banned for life. So, I mean, I think people are going to continue to weigh in. I wouldn't be surprised if we found out that more teams were doing something similar to this.
Absolutely.
So that's why I think it's going to continue to breathe for a while. It's not going to go away, even though baseball wants it to. Yeah. But I think it's a slippery slope because, how much cheating is going to, I guess, result in a lawsuit in terms of someone saying, this caused my career. If someone is doing steroids, PEDs, I'm just saying this might be a new chapter in professional sports if this lawsuit does, if he does win the lawsuit.
Right. So, I mean, we'll see. And again, it's not like the first part of I guess the toughest initial hurdle in any lawsuit is proving guilt. He's already passed that. So
yep.
Have to prove
just
that.
about damages, bro.
All right. So we'll see. So this one's kind of been pretty hot topic over the last week or so. I guess it's died down a little bit, but it kind of became an issue right after our last episode. So I wanted y'all to talk about this. So, Gayle King, in her interview with Lisa Leslie about Kobe Bryant, brought up the rape case that was dismissed, but she brought it up, and there's been, she caught hell for even mentioning it. People taking up Black Card, and they done pulled Oprah into it, and all kind of shit. Like it's a major storm for Gayle. For one, Al, do you think it's acceptable to mention that part of Kobe's life in his legacy? And two, do you think Gayle has been treated unfairly?
So,
and Snoop Dogg called a dog head bitch or some shit. That's just crazy. But go ahead.
Damn. Damn, Snoop. I'm not gonna say it's unfair not to mention it. I do think having an interview or asking a question in a public forum like an interview, I do think it's a little too soon, inappropriate, disrespectful in terms of the mourning of his family. So I don't think it's something that should be forgotten and not talked about ever. But I do think it was too soon, and I did look at it as inappropriate. Now that being said, it might have something to do with that I'm a huge Kobe fan, to where, when it's one of yours, so to speak, you can be a little biased in situations like this where people pick and choose what side of the fence they are or something like this. But, because I'm on this side of the fence, I deem it as inappropriate and disrespectful. In regards to Gayle, like, the threats of violence that I heard about, the name calling, even pulling a Black Card, I think are too far. Now, if you want to call it inappropriate and disrespectful, whatever, I get that. Okay. But I don't think she's not being a black person because she thought it was okay to ask this question about his the alleged rape that happened, or the rape case, to say that. And so I wouldn't say it's a Black Card. I think this idea that we can't say anything or ask about the negative aspects of a black person's life, I don't believe in that. I don't think it takes away from someone's legacy by talking about all that they, the full human and the total experience of who they were, the bad and the good. I don't think it takes away from someone's legacy, because I'm not looking at Kobe Bryant as a saint anyway. You know what I mean? So as I would tell the story, if people ask me about Kobe Bryant, if I was going to tell his whole life, I would include that, because to me that was a pivotal part of his life and a change in how America saw him. And I especially because I still wonder, is his legacy, because there was a lot of people who hated him, similar to how they hated Michael Vick, similar to how they hated Muhammad Ali. Like, there was just a visceral response to these individuals. And I wonder, as you go forward, are they going to change? Are they going to, kind of like Muhammad Ali, people forget how much he was hated in the 70s, mainstream America. They forget that part. Then I just wonder if that's going to happen with Kobe as well. Are they going to forget how a large part of mainstream America, how they took away his endorsements? And honestly, I thought it was surprising me in this Me Too environment that he was getting people weren't bringing it up when he was alive. Like, to me, that did kind of, and it just spoke to how much he had changed his brand, how his devotion to his wife and his kids, people started looking at him differently a decade later. But I was just waiting for it to come back up on a consistent basis, though. I really was.
Yeah, it's a good point. I mean, when we talked about it, his death, we even brought it up. So, I don't know, Pooh, what do you think? You think it's fair to ask that question? And do you think people kind of been too harsh on Gayle?
Well, man, I did think that it was extremely early to ask that question. I mean, if it just came about with Leslie and she was like, well, Kobe, he gotten through this, that, and the third, and he got through that. We really didn't know all the details, but he had went through the maturation process and changed his career around, in the aspect of his character. To me, if it came about like that, then I get it. But I just think it was distasteful for Gayle to ask the question at this point in time, and I wouldn't have lashed out on her like that, calling her names, dogging her, hitting her with the biatch, and and all of this and all of that. But I can't say that someone is wrong, because when people are hurt, they lash out. Mm-hmm. So I can't tell them how to act when they lash out. True. So that that's how I feel about it. The people are hurt. Those guys are hurt. Snoop and them are hurt. So people lash out differently. And I mean, I'm not going to say that they're wrong, and I'm definitely not going to say they're right as well. But people handle it the way they handle it. Yeah. So that's how I feel about it.
Yeah, and that was my thing. Is, I mean, if you just hearing that clip was a little bit like shocking, I guess, but to hear just that part of it. But it was a wide ranging interview. And timing does play a part of it. But with that being said, like, when Bill Cosby dies, do we not talk about his issues? Anybody, because we all have, like, for lack of better terms, blotches on our resume. So do they go away because we die? Like, I don't. And because we black, like, we can't talk about them. Like, I don't get that. So I guess maybe it was too soon for a lot of people. But I think ultimately, like we talked about a couple weeks ago after his passing, that was kind of a blessing in disguise for Kobe. He totally changed his life after that. And, the way he addressed it, the way he owned up to his part in it, that was a part of him maturing and changing and seeing himself in a different light, and also adjusting how he talked to women, how he treated women, and how he addressed his family with his wife and his 4 daughters at the time. It's a part of his legacy. So.
Right, and when we spoke about it on the show, when I brought it up, it was kind of different, because I said that what swayed me into being a Kobe fan, how he handled it and how he made a 360-degree change and whatever else that he done, and I just saw him, like I said, pick himself up by his bootstraps and make a change. So that, like I said, that swayed me. But truth be told, you didn't ask me about the rape case. I was just told you apart on what swayed me on being a Kobe fan.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. Like, but that's one thing is, like, the fact that it's like, I don't think we can, like, ignore it and act like it's not there. And if it's, I don't know, like, to me, like, anybody can talk about Kobe the basketball player and Kobe the Laker, and part of being a journalist is asking those tough questions and having some really difficult, uncomfortable conversations with people. That's part of her job. Mm-hmm. So, again, maybe it was the timing, and like you said, people are still hurt. But I don't think, like, I think this is what we get into as black folks. We tend to look at ourselves like this whole thing is like, you ain't black enough, or you ain't the right kind of black. This whole, like, we tend to, it's hypocritical.
Shit gets on my nerves.
Right, because it's hypocritical because we don't like to be stereotyped as black, but we do it to each other all the time. Like this whole notion that black is one thing, and if you ain't this, you ain't black. Like we are not a monolith, and so that's what kills me is as soon as somebody do something you disagree with, they ain't black enough for you. Like that shit pisses me off.
Well, you know, I think what pisses me off is the conversations I've heard where they refer to him as a rapist or act like
right.
he was convicted when, you know, I guess to me, you know, as a matter of record, you know, the case was dismissed. He was not acquitted. I mean, he was not convicted. Wow. And even his apology, while he did apologize for what I think he put it like, I understand how she felt like it wasn't consensual. Like, that's not an admission that you raped somebody.
Right.
And, you know, the conversation and the narrative is just like, you know, and even when, and again, I didn't see the interview, but what I read is this idea like, well, you know, did you feel uncomfortable as a woman around Kobe? And it's like, you know, my question would have been like, for what?
Right.
Because he cheated on his wife? Because that's okay. That's what we know he did. Okay. But other than that, why should I feel uncomfortable? Right. And I think that to me is what gets on my nerve is how, you know, people have portrayed him in a way that just wasn't accurate.
Agreed. And the best thing I think that came out of the question was the response.
Right. Absolutely.
And if she wouldn't have asked that question, we wouldn't have, you know, been able to critique that response.
True.
It's an excellent response. So I appreciate the response. I'll say it like that. I appreciate the response.
Yeah.
It was gratifying.
Yeah, you know, we all need a fucking friend like Lisa Leslie. God damn.
Right. Agreed.
Yeah. Right. You know, and I agree with you. Like the way Lisa Leslie held her poise and responded to that question truthfully and honestly, you know, was huge. And we wouldn't have heard that if the question wasn't asked. But I do still think that, you know, we are fucking grown, man. If somebody does something you don't agree with, like, what the fuck does it mean that you ain't black no more? You ain't black enough because you did something that I don't like. Like, that shit pisses me off. But,
I mean, it does, man. I got accused of it Saturday in the park.
Right, you did. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like,
I get it, but I think, you know, it really comes, to me, it reveals that person's lack of understanding of what black is to me.
Right.
Like, cause if that's your understanding of what being black is, like that you think that being black is limited to your view of it. Like, to me, like you said, you're stereotyping us. Because to me, what's so amazing about the black experience is the diversity of it.
Absolutely.
But it's still just like still a connection though. Like that is very diverse. But I think still though that African and that black experience that runs through all of us, it connects us. But we're still very, very, very different.
Yeah, so true. Last question I got, man. This is a real serious question. And I don't even, man, it's probably more serious than the whole Gayle shit, but what the fuck is up with Russell Wilson's hair, man?
Oh, man, you don't like this new style?
Man, when I saw that shit, I was like, is that Russell Stamos? That's Russell Stallone? Who the fuck is this?
Should look like John Stamos. That's what was so crazy.
Like, I don't know. Is Russ ain't mixed? Is Russ mixed? I think Russ is mixed. I don't know.
I think he is.
Yeah. He is.
Okay,
he's mixed.
Yeah, he is mixed. That's what I was just saying. That's why his hair is able to do that. You know, unless he just got a perm. But I don't know. Pooh, what you think about the look, man? You think it's becoming of Russ? Is it on par? Is he trying to get like in competition with Tom Brady hair? Or what's up with Russ's hair, man?
Hey, Russ is cool with me, man. I don't have any knock on Russ with that. It's all right to change the image up, man. It's to reinvent yourself, So I'm cool with it. Maybe he wants to act or be a model or something. I don't know. It's cool with me. Yeah. I'm cool with the hair.
Russ. All I saw is Russ. What they call Russ? Look like a sand nigga, man.
Like
he looked like who? He looked like a sand nigga. Ain't know what they call him. Ain't know what they call him.
Who's that?
Ain't know what
from the Middle East,
yeah. Ain't know what white
Pakistani.
Ain't know what racist white folks call Middle Eastern dudes sand niggas.
That's exactly what they call them.
Wow. Keita has a cousin that his hair grows like that, yo.
Oh man.
It's when it's grown out, you're like, what is that dude? Like what is that guy? But it looks. I mean, but hey, to each his own, man. I mean, let him try something new. I'm like I say, I'm cool with it.
Hey Al,
and
so
me
you
too.
want to get your hair like
I'm
that?
not
What you telling your mom? Let me get the Russ.
I can't see myself ever, straightening my hair like that. I can't see I would do that. That ain't never been my preference. But
right.
With all the crazy hairstyles of today, I have really let go judging people and their hairstyle or cracking jokes just because, at the end of the day, that's how they want to express themselves. And,
He just straightened it, did he? That's how it is, right?
No. I would have to straighten mine.
Yeah. Oh, but you had to straighten yours.
But I think like Russ at least had to get it like blown out or pressed. Like his hair's a little curly.
Man.
Yeah.
Let me look, man. Let me go back to the picture. We can.
It kind of looked like Prince a little bit, young Prince.
This shit look like a lot of folks, man. Look, like I don't know. Y'all remember that old
Russell hair grows like that, man.
Nah, man. Russ had it.
Yes, it does.
Russ had it. Cause it's a little bit more kinky than that.
Just a little bit,
right?
It is Prince.
They
it's
had
Prince.
It's Princey.
It is Princey. Oh man, I don't think he looked like so many people in one. Like if John Stamos, Prince, Sylvester Stallone, and Al Pacino had a kid, it'll be Russ.
He looked like like an outsider. One of those. Like if he had all leather, he'd be.
A greaser.
I'm looking at the photo. Yeah, greaser.
You need to be sitting on some Harley Davidson.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. With some, yeah, no doubt. It's cool though.
Yeah, cool. It's
I can rock with it.
Yeah, and I like Russ though. Russ is my dude.
Yeah, Russ my guy.
And I think that's why Russ can do this kind of shit because everybody who doesn't like Russell Wilson.
He got a lot of heat on social media though. Some of it was hilarious.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. Maybe he talked to Sierra about it before. He did it and kind of prepped her for it. But I can't imagine him just walking out one morning with like a regular cut and then coming back like this.
I think she hyped him.
She had to hype him.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah.
I think she hyped him.
And hey, that'll do it now.
Wow, yeah.
Man,
your woman can't get you to do some crazy stuff.
Especially
all the way.
Your woman, if your woman is Sierra, she could probably talk you into doing a whole lot of crazy stuff. So shout out to Russ, man, for keeping it versatile.
Shout out to Russ.
Oh man, I got to just scroll up and get this out of my face because I keep laughing at it. Oh man, we're gonna take a commercial really quick, and we'll be right back after this.
Hey, Siri.
Hey, how may I help you?
Play the Relationship Status Podcast.
Playing the Relationship Status Podcast.
I would ask him, like, what are you doing? Where are you going with this? What are you trying? and he really didn't have like a real answer.
Okay.
So I didn't feel like we were going to be compatible later on down the line.
I think that goes back to something I've often heard and think myself, that men date women thinking they're never going to change, and women date men
thinking that they are,
thinking that they can change them.
Relationship Status. New episode every Monday at 12 noon on Defy Life Network.
Welcome back to episode 144 of the Defy Life Podcast. This is JR, Alvin, and Thomas. Guys, we left off, we're giving an ode to Russell Wilson's hairdo. Shout out to Russ. We're going to talk some NBA, man. It's football season is no longer, except for the XFL. I wanted to ask y'all, did y'all watch any of the XFL action last weekend?
I didn't, but I heard good things about it, though.
Yeah. Pooh, did you watch any of it? Pooh must have went to get a beer. I don't know.
Oh, my bad. I was on mute. I saw a few plays, and I really couldn't get stationary. I really wanted to, but I was watching the quarterback. I saw him. He was reading, reacting. He was getting the ball out quickly, and I really wanted to see more. But I just, like I said, I couldn't get stationary to see more.
Yeah,
but I'll check it out. I'm going to check it out.
Yeah, I got an admission, man. I watched in one weekend, more XFL football than I watched in any one weekend of NFL football this year.
Wow.
Right. I watched all 4 games. I ain't watched 4 games in the NFL season all year.
Okay, so what'd you think?
In the NFL weekend. First and foremost, I go through the things I liked and the things I don't like. But the things I like, one, are the rules changes. So I like the idea first of the kickoff. So instead of having the offense, the kickoff team line up equal, alongside the kicker, I think they kick off on like the 40, 35 or the 40, and have them run all the way down. What they do is they have the kicker back there by himself, while the coverage team is up maybe 20, 30 yards down the field, and they are lined up 5 yards from the return team. So it's like 2 lines, basically, of 10 people. And then the return man is back there by himself. And it's really to avoid injury and to increase the likelihood of returns, long returns. So I like it because it does decrease, it speaks to player safety. So it does decrease all those guys running full speed into each other. And it's really just a one-on-one blocking. And they can't move until the receiver, the return man catches the ball. So it's a different element. I like it. Yeah. I like the clock where they have a running clock, but the clock stops after every play until the ball is set. And they have an official who doesn't make any calls. His only responsibility is to get the ball and respot the ball. So it keeps the game moving. And the clock stops after every play until the ball is reset, and then the clock runs. So it's a running clock, essentially. And so I kind of like that. I do and I don't like the idea of no extra points. So what they do, instead of having an extra point and a 2-point conversion, is teams have the option after you score a touchdown. You can go for 1 from the 2-yard line. You can go for 2 from the 5-yard line. Or you can go for 3 from the 10-yard line. So, yeah, but there's no extra point. So there's no kicking extra point. So the reason I do like it is because, it keeps teams in games and it makes it more interesting at the end of games. And it increases the strategy. What I don't like is that if a team's down by 7, traditionally you go down, score a touchdown, you can tie the game up. You're not really guaranteed to tie the game up. You got to go for your 1-point conversion from the 2-yard line. So that's what I didn't like. But I like the more options of being able to go for 3 and basically getting a 9-point touchdown. I like that.
Yeah, that is good. I like that too.
Yeah. And so, a few things I didn't like, I guess, were I don't like the idea of having the coaches being able to speak to the players throughout the play. So the quarterback's up on the line trying to call the play, and you can hear, like, they have the coach mic, so you can hear him calling plays to the quarterback all the way up until hike.
Wow.
So
wow.
It's like, at some point to me, it's too much access. And so what I think that leads to is how, like we just talked about, stealing plays and stealing signs. Like, do you have to change your calls like totally every week? So people, because all people got to do is listen to the broadcast and steal your plays.
Basically.
Like I caught on to which plays were coming just from watching the game because I could hear the coach's calls. And like a lot of it, I could get the formation and put together words I heard 2 plays ago. I'm like, oh, they running to the right. I know what this is. So that's what I didn't like. It kind of it takes away some of the, the mystique of the game. And so I didn't like that. I did like the fact that when there were when they don't have challenges, I like that too. I didn't like that either. They don't have challenges, like coaching challenges. Every play is under review per se, and teams only get 2 timeouts per half instead of 3. But if you call a timeout and during that timeout a play gets reversed, you get the timeout back. I didn't really like that. I like the idea of just having 3 timeouts and challenges. But I did like that when they do review the play, you get access to the guy in the booth and what he's communicating to the referee. And you get to hear that conversation of how they come to that determination of whether it's overturned or. So I like that part of it. I just wish it was like regular challenges, like the NFL. And then the last thing I didn't like was the 1-foot rule. I like the idea of professionals having to get 2 feet down, not just 1. So they do it like college.
Oh yeah. Okay.
But overall, of course, the quality of play, especially at like quarterback and like key positions, pass rushers, corners, stuff like that, is not what we used to seeing from the NFL because that's, of course, the lesser talent, the guys with less experience. But I did like, the commitment to the running game for a lot of teams, and like the idea of, young quarterbacks who didn't get a lot of reps in the NFL being able to get game reps. So it's kind of hit or miss, but I enjoyed it. And because it was new faces, new names, didn't really have a cheering interest for the teams. It was just football, and it was good to watch just football.
Yeah, I was just about to ask, any names that you recognize? Oh,
yeah, absolutely. So I don't know, and a lot of them that shocked me, because some of them I knew and I was looking forward to seeing. But Quentin Dunbar, former Cowboys running back, is in the league.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
But do y'all remember Sean Oakman? He was like I know you've seen the meme or the pic. He went to Baylor. He was a defensive end, like 6'8", and there's a meme out that was hot for a while, but it was just him with a cutoff jersey and his abs. It was just like, he got like an 8-pack. If I send it to you, I'm sure you've seen it. But he was at Baylor, and he got accused of rape right before the draft. And he was a projected first-round pick, maybe in like 2016 or 2017. But long story short, the charges were dropped, but it was after the draft, so it kind of screwed him. He's been out of the league, never got another opportunity, so it's good to see him playing again. I think he's kind of been playing indoor league and just working his way back into the circuit. So Sean Oakman's there. A couple of surprises, like Anthony Johnson, who was a defensive tackle at LSU, and he was a beast, but he was small. And so I see him for one of the teams playing linebacker now. He's like down to like 260. He's playing linebacker. So that was cool to see him. I hadn't seen him in a while. A few former Steelers that I saw out there. But yeah, it was definitely some names. Of course, the quarterbacks, Landry Jones didn't play his game, but Aaron Murray, Matt McGloin. So yeah, it was interesting. So, and a few guys, being a draft nerd, and I'm like, oh man, I remember this dude. So it was good to see some names from the past. So,
okay.
Overall, I think it was good. I think the reception was good for week 1. I want to see how they're going to progress in 4 to 5 weeks.
Yeah, they got good numbers from what I heard TV wise.
Yeah.
But, now the question is, will you be able to sustain it, assuming that a good portion of those people were just checking it out just for the first time?
Exactly. So we'll see. But again, I can't remember the last time I watched a whole weekend of football. I had no rooting interest. I was just watching football, and it felt good. So that was fun.
Good shit.
Yeah. But that's probably the last time we're going to talk football for the next few weeks, at least.
Yeah. So
it's NBA season, full tilt, man. We are less than a week from the All-Star game. So a lot of things, I think it's kind of a given at this point that, Lakers, Clippers, Bucks are the top 3 teams in the league. And then there's everybody else. I think you can kind of debate on the order of those 3 teams. And the West, considering 2 of those teams, Lakers and Clippers, are in the West. The West is a little more, structured than the East, as usual, in recent years. But the Bucks, I think we all agree, is the top team in the East, right?
Definitely.
All right. So who would y'all say are the next 2 teams? Not based on just strictly standings, but who'll be your next 2 teams, Pooh, in the East?
Man, I was just checking out the standings because I just pretty much watched the Bulls. So,
right. And y'all 10th in the East right now. So,
man, might be 15th, but I probably would. I mean, I'm looking at the standings, and I'm not. And they have the Raptors and the Celtics, pulling up. The Raptors at 40-14, and the Celtics at 37-15.
Yeah, and the Raptors have won 15 in a row.
And so, dude, I really didn't know the Raptors was putting together a season like this. I thought they had fallen completely off the wagon.
Not at all.
Since Kawhi, but they balling, they really balling. So, I mean, just looking at the standings and the records and whatnot, I have to go with the Raptors and the Celtics as the top 2 because I don't think the Heat they're not far behind, but I just think the roster for the Celtics and the Raptors are better than the Heat. So I guess I'll rock with I forgot about the 76ers.
Right, that's what I was about to say.
Totally forgot about the 76ers because they're down there so far.
Right.
But they're only 3 games, 3 games behind the Celtics. So I would probably nudge, even though the Raptors, man, it's hard for me to put the Raptors over the Sixers, but they're playing better than them now. But I still probably would say Bucks, Sixers. I want to say Celtics.
Okay,
that's the top 3.
All right. Al, what say you? Who you got after the Bucks in the East?
I'm gonna put Boston second, and then I'm going with Toronto. And while I think Philly is probably the second most talented team, they not clicking, they not gelling, they just not playing good basketball right now.
Team ball, yeah.
They're not playing good ball right now. So I think you look at Boston. The addition of Kemba has been smooth, and Tatum is taking it to another level. So I think they are right there. I think they're the second best team. And then I think Toronto, that championship, the veterans, the fact that they're, like you said, Pooh, that where they are despite losing Kawhi, I think says a lot about who they are as basketball players. So I'm giving it to Toronto, not my third team.
It's hard not to, though. I mean, hard not to. 15 in a row?
Yeah, that's good. That's balling.
Yeah.
But then I think we can't sleep on Miami because I think maybe they're not there now, But,
no, they 35-18. They only.
No, I'm just saying they might jump up into my top 3 when you talk about adding Andre, Iggy to the team, and see what he brings off the bench. I really like Jimmy Butler as a player, especially with the ball in his hands. And they just play hard. They really play hard all the time. And I think, and when you play hard and you got a star, you got a shot.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I think the only thing that concerns me about Toronto is I think they may be where they were before Kawhi. When like they would have these great regular. They've always been good in the regular season. With Kyle Lowry there, but and then they face LeBron in the playoffs and completely fall apart. But it's hard to win 15 games in a row in the
NBA.
Right. So, either way, I think Milwaukee runs through the East. Is like they may lose 2 games in the playoffs before they get to the finals.
Yeah, I could see them having one of them playoff runs.
Yeah, because you're not going to beat them at home at all. So, I don't know. It's going to be interesting. Al, so we talked about this before the season and even in the off season, where there are so many like dynamic duos. The league has gone from big threes to duos now. With that being said, and now we've got half the season of evidence, who do you think is the best third wheel in the NBA?
Mm-hmm. So at first I thought that was a real interesting question. Let me say that. Real interesting question. And I think it's a question that as a Laker fan seems to come up a lot because people are always questioning the Lakers lacking a third scorer but then that dominant player. But then when you look around the league, it's like, well, how many other teams have that third guy? And while, a lot of teams have a third guy, not few have as many have one who I'm about to say, because this is, as I look through the roster, this is the guy I'm like, oh, this is who I'm rolling with. So I think the top third guy is on the Boston Celtics, Jaylen Brown. I think that dude, I think him and Tatum are just remarkable players. And I think you put Kemba and Tatum as their best 2 players, but I think Jaylen Brown is a star in the league. And while Tatum might be the superstar of the Celtics of the future, I think Jaylen Brown is right there. And so I like Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, it's a good one. And really quick, I don't think it's coincidence that Kyrie leaves Boston. They replace him with Kemba, and boom, they're good again. Pooh, who do you think is the best third guy, third man, third option, third wheel in the NBA?
Man, I'm really there with Jaylen Brown as well. However, I'm gonna go in a different area. I'm gonna go, and I don't know which one of these guys are better. So yeah, I guess we have to go with one or the other. But it's gonna be Jamal Murray or Gary Harris. So one of those guys, we got the Joker, we got Murray. I think Murray may be a tad bit better, or is it Harris? Like I can't remember which one.
Yeah, I think Murray, probably Murray.
Yeah,
is the better one.
Okay, but I'm gonna go Harris.
Yeah, good pick.
So yeah,
that's interesting.
But I do love I love Jaylen. I love Jaylen's game. He's grown so much, in the past in the last 2 years.
Yeah, absolutely. It's tough. It's tough to pick one, to even find a legitimate guy you can say is the third part of a big three. And now you mentioned the Lakers. I think the most promising thing is Kyle Kuzma getting healthy. And and with the games that Anthony Davis missed, it was 4 games that he missed a few weeks ago, kind of got Kuzma into a groove. And over the last 8 to 10 games, dude's averaging 18 and is almost he's more of a fourth quarter scoring option than AD is at this point. So I think as the season progresses, I think Kyle Kuzma is going to be amongst those better third wheels. And I'm glad they didn't trade him for that reason. Because he's talented, he's young, and he's still growing.
But then,
so am I.
If you look at the Pelicans,
I was just thinking that too.
And you look at their top 3 players of Brandon Ingram, Zion, and I guess Drew Holiday.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, it is. They just young.
They just young.
Right.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah. Only other name I can think of would be Eric Bledsoe. Unless you want to, I guess that you can. Yeah, I'd say Eric Bledsoe.
Yeah, I like Bledsoe.
Yeah, me too. So I guess if Giannis and Middleton are the top 2, Bledsoe is the third option. And he's another good one, but
I like Bledsoe.
Yeah.
How about Houston? Houston's third option would be.
Would that be Covington? Or
I don't know. What would it be? The kid? Is he still there? Is Gordon still there?
That's what I was saying.
Maybe
Gordon. Yeah, I guess it would be Gordon. Even still, I don't. Yeah, but the Houston's so, especially on offense, like Russ and Harden is so ball dominant. It's hard to count on a consistent third. Like it's so difficult because you don't have the traditional like Kevin Love or Chris Bosh or Draymond Green as your third option. Like those are all stars as your third option. Like we like feel like we scraping the bottom of the barrel to find one.
Yo, how is the kid doing from? Is it LSU or Missouri that hurt his back and the Nuggets drafted him?
Oh, he's playing well.
Yeah, Michael Porter's playing good.
Man, I wanted that kid so badly, and we didn't take him. Like he was just out there. Like
he is
6'10". What he's like 6'10". It was comparing him to Durant, and we just passed him right on up to do the bullshit that we normally do. No pun intended.
It's tough though, because like you start playing with back issues. You can get a Michael Porter Jr. who looks like he's blossoming, or you can get a dud who's out of the league in 2 years because his back never got right. So that's a big gamble to take.
Who the guy we drafted instead of Michael Porter? I mean, instead of that, what is his name? Michael Porter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's the guy? Who we take over him?
Was it Wendell? What's his name? Wendell something from Duke.
No, I don't know who we took.
Wendell Carter.
Wendell Carter.
Yeah, you're right.
He's solid.
He's He can't play 30 games, and we talking about Porter's back, but Carter can't play 30 games a season. I mean, so let me. He's hurt now. He's hurt now. He gets hurt every year. He started off the season banging something with his thumb, and now he's out again. Last year he got hurt 3 or 4 times. He ended up missing 38 games. So I mean, I can't see any different than taking a chance on the Porter kid missing the entire year, and then look. I'm not gonna go on and on.
I get that, but now you have the benefit of results. Wendell Carter never missed a game at Duke, so he was known as their Iron Man. He was he wasn't as flashy as Zion or RJ. He wasn't that guy, but he was Mr. Solid. Dependable, and he was solid, and he never missed a game. He never got hurt. So you can't predict injuries. You never know. No way you would have known this was going to happen. Now, me with nothing, no money on the line, no skin in the game, I would have taken Michael Porter Jr. all day. That's just based off talent, and I ain't got shit to lose in it. But I get why they didn't draft it. What did he go, 15? So it's 14 teams that didn't draft it for that reason.
Nah, we went. We took Carter in the lottery.
No, I'm talking about Porter. I'm talking about Michael Porter. He fell to 15.
I mean, and that would have been kind of hard to pick the kid with the bad back.
Yeah,
man.
Multiple back
end. 8. We drafted him 8th. We just I don't know, man.
Bad back and probably gonna sit for a year.
Yeah, he sat for a year.
Yeah,
he
and
sat
you
for
knew
a year.
that drafting him. Like,
yeah, that was coming in that he was gonna be out for the year.
Yeah,
definitely.
That's tough to do.
Definitely.
But
I would have took him.
Yeah, I don't know. And I mean, at this point, I mean, he's averaging 8 points and 6 rebounds. Like, he ain't tearing the league up. But he looks good.
I just would have did it off the potential, you know, but not doing anything else. Shit, we're not doing anything else.
True. Oh man. Well, we got a listener question, and a really good. This is potentially dangerous listener question. Before we get into trivia, but Pooh, I asked you first.
Man, I'm out on that, man.
What? What do you mean?
Hey, I'm out, man.
What? Even if it's something you witnessed.
I don't say nothing, though. You know, I just because
even if it's something you witnessed, so it ain't gotta be something you say. Yeah, it can be something you witnessed, you heard. Like, all right, so I'll just ask the question. Richelle from Allentown, PA. Shout out to Allentown. Richelle wants to know, what is the funniest or most savage thing you've said or heard during a couple's argument? So it could be something you said or something you heard somebody else say.
That I heard. You probably got to bounce back to me because I thought it was, I was reading and I thought it was saying
something you said.
That intertwined with me and mine. Nah. So let me bounce back to me. Let me think why Al did.
Al, what's the most savage or funny thing you've heard or said?
Yeah, this is pretty simple for me because I got some pretty interesting family members who say some interesting things. Mm-hmm. The funniest, most savage thing I've ever heard during a couple's argument was one of my uncles saying to his wife after almost 3 decades of marriage, looking at her saying, "All right, watch yourself. 27 years don't make your ass permanent."
God damn.
That's funny. That's funny.
Oh man,
we were like, "Huh? Really?
Yeah,
okay."
Right.
And it's funny, like I didn't understand that shit. Him saying that, he used to say it, and I was like, I ain't understand it until I got married.
Yeah,
and I was like,
27 years don't make you permanent,
right? Like that shit just mean you've been here for 27 years.
Yeah,
right.
Watch yourself.
Oh shit, yeah. And I knew where you was going. Time you said one of my uncles. I was like, oh shit,
right.
One of my uncles,
right?
Classic.
Oh man, yeah. Damn, but that's true though. Like, as savage as that is, that's some real shit. Like that shit is true.
Very real.
Yeah. All right, Pooh, you thought of anything?
I can't grasp anything. The only thing I can think of is, is my mom used to carry on with my dad, and she used to I guess he was beat up, body falling apart on him. And she was like, yeah, you talk that shit right now. She said, yeah, you used to be a big wheel. Now you ain't nothing but a hubcap.
God
so,
That's hilarious.
So yeah. Other than that, I can't really brush. My mom said some wild shit.
Yeah.
But other than my mom said some reckless stuff. So if it was anyone savage or reckless, it definitely is my mom. She out there.
And that woman used to give us the business.
Oh man.
And wasn't even trying. Like she.
Right. It was just her personality. Right. Yeah.
Oh man, she one of the funniest people I know.
Yeah, hands down.
Oh man, I guess mine I'm guilty of mine. Al, of course, the first thing I thought about was your uncle, the one you just mentioned. Mm-hmm. But I kind of had a feeling you was going there. So the only other one I got is from myself. So, thanks to Pooh, I was dating this girl when I was in college.
Yeah. Thanks to me. Get out of here.
So thanks to Pooh, I never would have met this chick if it wasn't for Pooh. And to this day, is the only like toxic relationship I've ever been in. And I would say from both sides. And it just took me places that, it was, you're young, emotional, and just take you places. So her sister had a baby, and every time she held a baby, the baby would cry, right? Like just scream to the top of her lungs. And we got in an argument one day. I just looked at her and I was like, nobody likes you. Your own fucking niece don't like you. Yo,
boy, it was cold. It was cold.
Yo, I was so proud and ashamed of myself at the same time. Yo, and she just bust out crying, like, and that was just like, and I ain't really got a sharp tongue like that to people. But again, that's the only toxic relationship I've ever been in. And like, I really like tried to say some shit to like cut deep, and that shit cut deep. And,
yeah, that cut deep. You was mad foul for that.
Yeah, I was foul as fuck for that. But I was proud of myself because I was like, word, I'm defending myself. Like in the moment, I was proud. I ain't gonna lie.
Shorty stopped speaking to me because of you with that.
Man, it's your fault. I stopped speaking to you because of her. No, I'm just kidding. Yo, man, that shit was crazy. So like Al, this was when Pooh met V's, right? Because that shit was so toxic. Like, I still had my dorm room, but she had a house, so I was essentially there all the time. And she found like, apartment applications and shit, and I ain't tell her I was getting an apartment with Pooh and V, so she got mad at Pooh. And then when we moved out, she would just show up at our crib randomly. Like, right. It was crazy, man. Crazy times. Right. Damn you, Pooh.
Right. Nah, man. Nah. I had no idea she was bananas like that. Like when we was living close to each other, like she was mad cool and fun and we used to trip, laugh, and joke all the time. And I was like, yeah, I think I got a guy for you. My guy. I got a guy for you. But I had no idea like she was old girl from Thin Line.
Yo.
Literally
like one night. It was like 5 of us in the house playing Madden. We were having playing the season in Madden, and Pooh was like, Jay, who that at the door? Because you could see like our sliding door, you could see the front door, so right. You could see through it, and we had the blinds, you couldn't really see who it was. But Pooh was like, yo, Jay, who that hanging out outside the door? Right. I opened the door and she was out there with her homegirl, like ready to get busy.
Yeah.
And just that kind of shit. Just show up like random. Yeah,
stalker like.
Yeah,
yeah. Like, it was wild. It was wild.
Right. Yeah, it was crazy. So like my last straw, and I'll leave it at this before we go into trivia. But my last straw, when I was like, I'm done with her. And damn, I just thought about this. So the fact that she pulled a butcher knife out on me and I had to hold her down on the ground.
Wow.
Until she let go of the knife. That wasn't the last straw. So I'm about to tell you what the last straw was.
That was not the last.
That was not the last straw. So, and this goes to show you where my mind was at this time. So I came home from work. I was working at nights after classes at UPS at nights. So went to her crib after work, and I get there, and I guess she mad, pissed off, and she done stole / hid my PS2. I think it was a PS2 at the time. So I don't know where my PlayStation at. So I'm freaking out. So it goes to show you where my butcher knife ain't got shit on the PlayStation, right? And so really, she didn't trash my shit. Like went in with a hammer on my PS2, and so yeah. So again, I was toxic as fuck too in this relationship, And what do? I'm like, at that time, I'm like, man, I ain't got time for this. I'm going to holler at Pooh. I was going to holler at Pooh. What do I do before I leave her crib? I go in her car, and, you know, this is just some genius shit. I'm still proud of this shit. So I go in her car, I jack her car up, take the tire, take the spare, put it in my trunk, and bounce.
Wow.
And then I'm at Pooh. But it was just a crazy fucking relationship. But the fact that the butcher knife didn't end it speaks volumes.
That's crazy to
me.
Wow. Right. The butcher knife.
Yeah. Didn't end it, yo.
Yeah. With the PlayStation.
Right. Yeah.
Now we got problems.
Right.
Yeah.
You didn't say you was gonna be fucking with my game, my video game life.
Right. It was like, yo, bring your station over, man. Our station acting funny.
Right.
It was like, shit, I can't. What you mean you can't? Said, old girl done smashed it. Yo, you still with her?
Yeah. Smash my shit. And yeah, I ain't bring her tires back until the next day. Like,
wow.
That was wild. That was wild.
Man. Wild. Good times. Thanks, Pooh.
My bad, Jay.
You good?
My bad.
You good? We all went through our
I used to be like, yo, you still with her, yo? She wilding. She crazy.
Yeah. And then at that point, we was like, man, y'all just want to get a place together? Word, let's do it. And so shout out to V's for jumping in, and shout out to all three of us for going through it with crazy chicks at the time.
No doubt.
Yeah,
no doubt.
And V's married his. Shout out to V's.
Damn.
I love you, kiddo.
Hey,
oh man, nah, I love Key. She done grown up a lot. Love that girl.
No, yeah. It's real good people.
Man. All right, y'all. Let's jump into this trivia before we wrap things up. We're going old school. I have in front of me a list of the top 25 rebounders in NBA history. So, career rebounds leaders in the history of the NBA. There's 1 through 25, right? Mm-hmm. And we are going in reverse scoring order. So, if you get, we're going in concurrent scoring order. So, you get the first player on the list, you get 1 point. You get the 25th player on the list, you get 25 points. All right. The twist is there's one active player on this list. All right. If you get that player's name, you get an extra 25 points.
Okay.
All right. Oh, let me grab a scoring sheet.
Okay. Active player, an extra 25 points.
All right. So, Pooh,
what's good?
Did you win last week?
I think I.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, he beat.
I'm back. Yeah, I'm back.
You're back.
Yeah,
bastard, you beat me. Anyway,
I'm back on the throne. Let's go. Let's get.
All right, 1 through 25. Who? Give me a name, and we'll see if they're on the list.
I'm gonna jump out there. I'm gonna jump completely off the bridge, and I'm gonna try to get this active guy.
Okay.
Let me try, and I may be totally wrong. Let me try Tyson Chandler.
Ooh, Tyson Chandler is not on the list. That's a good guess.
Let me go safe next time. Let me go safe next time.
All right. Al.
Wait a minute. The game not over, is it?
No, game's not over.
Okay.
I was like, damn, all I gotta do is guess one.
Right.
Right. Hold on, what are the rules? I ain't even paid attention to the rules. What's the rules?
Yeah. So we will so game's not over. You don't have to miss one to get out.
Okay.
Yeah. So either first player to 100 wins. I'm sorry, I didn't even tell you that. First player to 100 wins, or first player to not be able to give a name. So if you just say I give up, I don't have a name, I quit, or I'm too far behind. If you just throw in the white towel, it's over. But first place to 100 wins.
Okay.
And the scoring is what now? The
tens.
So first, the top player on the list gets you 1 point. The 25th player on the list gives you 25 points, and so far.
Oh, okay, okay. So my turn. I'll go with Barkley.
Charles Barkley is 22nd on the list. That's a good one.
That's a great one.
Yeah,
that was a great one.
All right.
Let me get Shaq.
Shaquille O'Neal is 15th on the list. Good one.
Okay.
Big rebound. Wes Unseld.
Wes Unseld is 12th on the list. 12 points for Al. That's a good one.
Let me try Dennis Rodman.
It's a good one, but I don't know.
It's not on there?
Oh, yes. Dennis Rodman. Wow, that's a good one. 23rd. Good one, Paul.
Oh.
I was like, Rodman not on the list? Wow.
Mm-hmm.
How about Hakeem?
Hakeem Olajuwon is 13th. Good one.
Okay. Let's try David Robinson.
David Robinson. Ooh.
Damn, he played 15 years. He on that?
He was a shooter.
David Robinson is not on, and you got he didn't miss his first 2 years due to being in the military.
His duties.
All right. So he's not on the list.
Wow. I'm gonna go with Ewing.
Patrick Ewing is 25th.
Hey, damn, that was my neck. I was teetering between those two, and I got the one that ain't even on there.
All right,
Sucks.
so just to update the score, Pooh has 38, and Al has 72.
Oh, wow. I'm getting shellacked right now. Let me try. I guess I just got to get a point now. Let me get, what's the kid's name? Chamberlain out on there?
Well, Chamberlain is number 1. You did have to get a point.
Right.
Did anybody say Hakeem yet?
You did.
You did.
0.
Okay.
My turn.
All right.
No, you said him before, right? It's the second time saying him.
Yeah, he just said Hakeem last time.
Who? I said Hakeem? I saw Ewing.
Yeah.
Before that, you said Hakeem.
You said him. Yeah, before that, you said.
Oh, okay. Can I say somebody else, or is that?
Yeah.
How do we do this? Oh,
yeah.
Duncan.
Tim Duncan is 6th. So 6 points for Al.
6.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Monto. It's my turn.
Mm-hmm.
Top 25. Let me try. What's the kid from the Celtics? I got to get some points. Bill Russell.
Bill Russell is 2. You got some points.
Damn, 1 and 2. That sucks.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going with Oakley.
Ooh, Charles Oakley is 22nd, and with that, Al wins the game with 100 on the dot.
And the Oak man.
All right. So I'll go through the list. Starting at 25, Patrick Ewing. 24 is Kevin Willis. 23 is Rodman. 22 is Oakley. 21 is Paul Silas. 20 is Dikembe Mutombo.
Silas. Dang, Dikembe was top 20?
Yeah, Dikembe's top 20. Charles Barkley at 19. 18 is Bob Pettit. 17 is Jerry Lucas. 16 is what surprised me. 16 was Buck Williams. I had no idea.
Wow.
Man, Buck.
Right.
He was a 15, 20
right.
board a game type of dude. So
it was. He just did it quietly.
Solid.
Yeah. 15 was Shaq. 14 is our active player, Dwight Howard.
Wow.
Right.
Oh, okay. Wow, I would have never guessed him.
Yeah. Neither would I. It was furthest away from my mind.
13 is Olajuwon. 12 was Unseld. 11, Walt Bellamy. 10, Nate Thurman. 9, Kevin Garnett. 8, Robert Parrish. 7, which is one I'm surprised y'all didn't get.
Robert Parrish.
Yeah. He played like 20 years, too.
Yeah, the Chief. Yeah.
7 was one I'm shocked y'all didn't get. It was Karl Malone.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I slipped on that one.
6, Tim Duncan. 5, Moses Malone. 4. 4, Elvin Hayes. 3, Kareem. 2, Russell, and 1, Chamberlain. Right.
Okay.
So, then we figured that one would be kind of quick. Quicker than I thought. So, damn good job, Al. You won. What's your parting shot, sir? What you got for me?
Man, my parting shot just have a good week. I ain't got nothing really profound. Just good week. It was good to hear our brothers coming on from unsupervised. So that's what's up. And everybody just can't we all get along? That's all. That's where I'm at, man. Can we just more love in the world, man. We just need more love in the world, man.
Yeah, right.
So that's all I got.
All right. Pooh, what you got for me?
Man, nothing elaborate either. Again, definitely on the hook with those guys, man, and what HP said kind of stuck out to me. What is great to wake up, because some guys have a plan for the next day and never wake up to carry out and execute that plan. So that was pretty dope to me. So shout out to HP and the listeners. Thanks. We love you and continue to watch us grow. Peace.
Damn right. I got nothing big. I'll just follow up with something I posted on Facebook today. A friend of mine kind of got caught up, started a business and had somebody set up his website, but he never bought the domain name. And, domain names cost you at most $20 a year for your domain name, for you to, for the hosting and everything. Probably cost you $10 to buy the name. And he never did that. And the guy who created his website bought it. And his business is kind of taken off. And he figured out that he didn't own his domain name. And the guy wants to charge him $3,000 for the domain name.
Wow.
And it ain't shit he can do.
Wow.
Right. So, just to reiterate, if you do have a business and you have a website, which most businesses do, make sure you own your domain name, because that is like owning property. And if you don't, again, somebody is going to buy it, and you will pay heavily to get the rights to your own name. Or you're stuck with a sucky website address that nobody's ever going to find you at. So, you probably have dashes and underscores all through your web address. So to avoid that, please take the steps to make sure you own your own domain name. It'll save you tons, potentially. So that's all I got, man. But yeah, y'all, this has been episode 144 of the Defy Life Podcast. You can find us at defylifepods.com, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere you find your favorite podcast for free 99. Look us up, check us out, rate us 5 stars, send us a comment. Y'all definitely keep sending these emails for our listener questions. We enjoy those heavily. You can contact us email us at info@godefylife.com, or you can hit us up on social media on all platforms at godefylife. We'll talk to y'all next week. Until then, Defy Life.
Defy Life.
Defy Life.
If you're into all things comics, you have to check out Take a Knee for Marvel vs. DC, your go-to podcast for comic and superhero discussion, debates, polls, and more. Tune in as Regular Scott and Ozzy Killmonger chat about your favorite comic topics, and you never know who may show up for an open mic or what will be next on their favorite One Gotta Go. Take a Knee for Marvel vs. DC, every Sunday, powered by the Defy Life Podcast Network.